Mongolia as a mining jurisdiction is very encouraging of mining in particular. It's a key industry. Yeah. Over 90% of all Mongolian exports are resource related. So they're desperate for foreign direct investment, and the mining industry is a key industry in which you can invest to be able to improve incomes, improve GDP, etc. The other thing too is that Mongolia is extremely geologically well endowed. So we all know about copper, but certainly in terms of coal, it's extraordinary as a place. And of course, its location being just to the north of China and northeast China, industrialised China, it makes it an ideal jurisdiction. My outlook for coking coal supply and demand is it's relatively stable. There is, for the time being, there's a good balance between supply and demand, such that even with small impacts in supply, and for instance, the forecast of a cyclone, for instance, in the Bowen Basin in Queensland can have a reasonably significant impact on price. That tells you that things are quite well matched. A little bit of a supply disruption causes a price reaction. Longer term, I think it's actually very encouraging because there aren't a lot of new coking coal developments in the supply chain, not much at all. So over time, as older assets become higher cost, yields fall, there's going to be more and more demand for new projects. Now, to do that, you're going to need a higher price and time. At the moment, there isn't a large pipeline, so medium to longer term, I think coking coal prices will be very strong. Well, as far as mining's well positioned to take advantage because of it has two assets now in northern Mongolia. Both of them are hard coking coal. One, so that's the premium product. Two, one's a smaller project which is closer to existing rail infrastructure. So it's a project which we can bring online within a relatively short time frame, about 12 months, and we're working on a feasibility study on that now. It's called the Nersti Coking Coal Project. It's relatively small, capital expenditure is small and manageable from a company of our size. But once we get to that point, we actually can then start focusing on the big one. So our big discovery, Uvut, which is about another 150-60 kilometres further to the west of Nersti, and that asset is 20 times the size. It's a big one. Large capital, needs rail infrastructure, but it's a company maker. Investors should invest in Aspire at the moment because of value. We've de-risked the company in terms of its balance sheet. We raised $16.5 million in December. We've got a near-term production story in a commodity which I just explained has a really good future. So value. We really are seriously undervalued, and as we get closer and closer to production, I think people will realise it. The mining investment landscape has obviously been volatile. So we were in 2010, 2011. We were a very highly valued company. Resources in general was a very key theme, investment theme. And then of course we had the downturn with post the boom, and now we're coming out of it. So what's happened though first is that commodity prices have improved, but a lot of the equity market prices haven't. So I think there's a mismatch at the moment, which will take time for people to get comfortable that commodity prices are not going to go back to where they were in the bottom of the depths of the bust in 2014 and 15. That's important to know. So once that confidence comes through, there should be more smart money coming into resources. Attending something like Mines and Money is important for us because it's a different audience. We're ASX listed and we're in Mongolia. So for us, being able to, particularly in Asia, to interact with potential Asian investors is important. Asia gets One Belt, One Road and also gets Mongolia a lot better than Australia does. So for us it's an important piece of communication for current and future investors.